Hello there you, and welcome to a Death Corps of Krieg trench line, complete with autocannon emplacements, gas mask wearing and shovel wielding gigachads, and enough artillery to level a small village, as they prepare for over 1 million Chaos Renegades to storm their lines. Will the Kriegers have enough firepower to hold the trenches, or will they be filled with a glorious worship of chaos? But before we do kick off today's fight, it is your last chance until the 31st of December to get 15% off your order in the ChaoticPinky store using code BOLTER15. That's code BOLTER15. Ladies and gentlemen, kicking off today's battle. So you can see here we've got a multi-tier defense coming out of the Imperial Guard, and all that lovely laser fire here coming from our autocannons. Now, I did try to put them in the bunkers, but some of the autocannons appeared to be on top of it, but that's absolutely fine. So you can see we've got our artillery here. These couple of groups at the back are indeed the Death Corps of Krieg. Now, unfortunately, on the very front lines here, on the Planetary Defense Force, of course, they're going to take the brunt of it here. The conscripted masses against the other sort of corrupted conscripted masses, I guess. As Chaos flings itself at the Imperial Guard front line here. You can see our autocannons here, rapid fire, just absolutely cutting down vast swathes of Chaos as they try to push into our front lines. Imperial Guard artillery also pounding home here. Sending renegade gunners flying through the air. And look at that, a firm resistance here from the Planetary Defense Forces, but can they maintain? I don't know, they are very weak, to be honest. The conscripted guys, basically what's happened is they've been woken up one morning, an auto-gunner's been put into their hands and they've been told to hold this trench line. Yeah. Some of them weren't even told how to fire the gun, but you can see, look at this guy up here, having an absolute whale of a time. Now, if we just stick it in slow motion, you can see that he is firing at full of force here. It's just that when you take it out of slow motion, these little weird gaps appear in the firing. Don't know why, but it does look spectacular. Let's just stick it in slow-mo again, so we can see all them glorious lasers of the autocannons here, coming from the bunkers, ripping open them Chaos front lines. Man, look at that. They're taking ever such a beating here. Speaking of taking a beating, these guys are still holding on somehow. I wouldn't have expected them to be completely overwhelmed by now. You can see though that Chaos are pouring into the trenches and clearing it out bit by bit here. Working the magic. Again, the old gunner up there is having an absolute field day. Just cutting out vast swathes of the Chaos horde here. Speaking of having a field day, yeah, the artillery. The artillery is just hammering home here, causing significant casualties on the Chaos side. But they've still got the numbers. They're still pushing forward here. Even with 175,000 losses under their belts, they are still trying to take down these front lines here. Now look at this though. The demons of Chaos are starting to make their way in, and these guys can clear out these infantry absolutely no problem. But the Planetary Defense Force here have made the Chaos pay a hefty price for these opening lines here. Now look at this, the Chaos Forces are pushing around and straight into the Krieg line on this side. The Kriegers though, absolute experts here in siege and trench warfare. They are not going to give up this ground anytime soon, and definitely not without a fight. The Chaos here pouring over their own comrades, who now litter the floor left, right and centre. Again, a costly assault here, but these are just mere little underlings of the Chaos Army. No one really cares about the renegade gunners, and to be fair, no one really cares about the Death Corps of Krieg either. Neither side has any command who cares about them. They've just thrown into the meat grinder and hope for the best. That's sort of the tactic for both sides at the moment. They've got to say these Chaos Demons are helping out significantly here to try and clear out these Planetary Defense Force conscripts. Again, Chaos using its numbers now to start to assault around the outer flank here, right into the next Krieger line. But they have been met with a stalwart resistance of auto gunfire and concentrated autocannons. Again, autocannons here working wonders, cutting through them flanks. The Chaos are melting against the wave of guns here. Again, that artillery helping to clear out any of the groups that are just a little bit too thick. Our defense holding firm. You can see the only Chaos that are being flung through the air are actually managing to get to the front line on that side. That's pretty good. So with the collapse of the front lines now, Chaos is moving its forces down the center of the field. Again, extreme losses are being had as they push into a wave of gunfire here. The Kriegers firmly rooted in their trenches. They've already got everything sighted in. They know their ranges. And now the Chaos just, look at that, storming into a hail of bullets. What I really like watching is how thin the line gets. So if we move forward with the line here, you can just see that very quickly as it gets within meters of that line, it just disintegrates into nothing. Even the Chaos Demons here struggling to get to that front line and close the gap. But look at that. Again, Chaos certainly has numbers on its side here. But the Chaos Army, it's almost been half defeated here. Another 20,000 and that's it. The Kriegsmen are halfway through the army. But the gap has been closed here now. Demonic forces surging forward for the Chaos. Empowered with a crazy strength here. They're able to cut down vast swathes of troops instantly with their insanely powerful demonic blades. Now the Chaos, interestingly, not really opting to try and use the trench line. Don't blame them, it looks like a little bit of a death funnel that is. Instead of trying to push the troops on the front outside of the trenches here. The bulwark against the ditch. That's what I like to call them. Now we've only got about 20,000 defenders here, but most of them are the Kriegers. You can see that the Renegade Gunners have actually managed to take out a couple of the artillery crews here. Yes, the Chaos do indeed have range units. You can see that a bunch of them are all grouped up over here, returning covering fire into the trenches. And now, again, Chaos once again managing to close that gap. The Demons carrying the assault forward. The meat shields behind them, absorbing the bullets for them. And that is deadly assault. Man, look at how many Chaos are just roller-poling down here. That is a lot. Again, though, the Kriegers are still holding firm on that side. How are we doing in the center over here? It looks like a deadly slaughter's happened in the center here. The Chaos, though, inch by inch, with every single death, have clawed their way to that Krieger front line. And the Kriegers have been taking a few losses here by the looks of it. Again, autocannon fire just ripping through, shredding the Renegade Gunners, but they really need to start focusing fire on these demons. You can see that we've got a pile of demon corpses right in front of the Kriegers here. They've been doing well and holding out so far. 300,000 Chaos, though, are still assaulting this position. And it looks like this flank is starting to falter here. The Chaos grinding the Kriegsmen down here bit by bit, trying to clear out the trenches. The firepower is diminishing. We have diminishing returns on our firepower as the assault continues into the flank, though again, this is going to be extremely costly. We got this guy up here. I don't know why when I tried to put him in the bunkers, it's instead put them on top here. But look at that. He's got such a good field of view of the entire battlefield because of it. We have got our bunkers on this side. This guy can pretty much shoot through the door. He's actually shooting through the window, which is kind of cool. Oh man, that's a brutal sight. The Chaos here are taking so many losses trying to push this. 748,000 kills here to the Imperials. It looks like we're starting to clear out the flank. But the Chaos may have been having success over here. They have now faltered in terms of numbers on this side of the field. The Kriegers having an absolute field day here. Pumping firepower into the flanking units of the Chaos, which is going to make this center push here really difficult. Again, it looks like the Demons are trying to carry the assault forward, but even they're struggling under the weight of firepower. This flank, however, looking really successful for the Chaos. They have cleaned out almost one of the entire groups now of the Kriegsmen. That's a significant portion of firepower that has been taken off the line here. Yeah, look at that. The Chaos are just completely swarming in. But again, feels like they're starting to run out of reinforcements on this side. A costly assault. These demons perhaps not being able to provide enough worth here for the Chaos. It is said, though, that it is very hard to unroot and entrench the Kriegsmen. The Kriegsman is trench and his shovel, they are one. And it is only through death that we will part them, quite frankly. Oh my gosh, they're more than willing to deal it back to you. The Chaos Assault here, I believe, is actually starting to falter now. It doesn't feel like they've got the reinforcements. It looks like it on the field, though. But I don't think they can filter them through fast enough here. Look, they're trying to bring these guys around into the flanks. But I don't know if it's going to be enough. At the moment, they're just maintaining. That's what they're able to do. They're able to maintain their frontal assaults. But how long they're able to maintain this for is a totally different question. It's this flank that the Chaos really need to concentrate on if they want to win here, because they've been having huge success over this side. Again, though, it's that them overlapping fields of fire, and the fact that this group of Kriegsmen on this far flank here with the bunker are completely free to provide covering fire to any section of the line, including over here, is really hampering the Chaos progress. And not to mention the fact that the trenches are now completely filled with goo. I mean, you know, that's a fairly big thing here. It's causing the Chaos a world of headaches because, especially on this one, look, they just cannot close that gap. There's a couple of Kriegsmen that they're trying to focus on here just to get any old kill at the moment. But again, yeah, it's diminishing returns on this attack. They're starting to run out of momentum on that side of the field. Looks like we're going to have a large chunk of Chaos stuck in this particular area. Oh, actually, there's a little bridge across there, but it goes nowhere fast. So the Chaos did have some success on this flank. Can they clear out the bunker on this side, though? Again, it looks like the demons carrying this assault forward, mainly. It's been a tough old fight for the Kriegers, but they might have this one in the bag, actually. Just look at that. They're struggling now to push across. Now that they've cleared out these other groups, they've got to bring all these forces back around to this side here. And you can just see that is not happening at the moment. The front line also looking really weak now. The reinforcements just aren't there anymore. In fact, the reinforcements are now coming from the flank back around into the center line. And that's definitely not a good thing. The frontier, I mean, yeah. The Kriegers have they've used the trench, filled it full of enemy goo, and then now the enemy cannot pass through the goo or the ditch to get to them. And thus it's resulted in a massive slaughter here. 70,000 Chaos remain on the field. There's only 10,000 Kriegers, but my god, are they putting up the fight of their lives. A 7-to-1 ratio, and the Kriegers might be happy about that. Oh my god. Absolutely fantastic stuff. So what I want to do, hit a little time-lapse camera here because it's going to take a little while for the Chaos to filter around the area. Let's get a little bit of a view of the entire battlefield here. Okay, right, we'll be back in a second. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the great equalization has happened here. There is now less Chaos on the field than there is Kriegers remaining. And this is just a slow march to the end here for the Chaos. Marching on a dead-ended road, I think is the term for it. Yeah, the Chaos here have just really struggled. I mean, we've made some magnificent architecture on this battlefield here. Don't get me wrong, it's going to take the Kriegers a long time to redig these trenches and to drain them also. That is, of course, you know, when we get fresh reinforcements in, because unfortunately these guys have all been in contact with Chaos, so, you know, yeah, it's not going to end well for them, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking of not ending well, as always, I do hope you had a blast. I know I did. Please do comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And as always, until next time, peace.